Hello, this is Andrew from Trend Following Mentor. I'm going to talk about the stock market and what transpired yesterday on the 30th. Today is the 31st of January 2013. And there's some interesting things happening. If you're looking at the bonds here, actually it's pretty cool actually, where you took out some lower lows here, and you're up a little bit. There's a lot of bear bonds out there, or people that are very bearish on bonds. And, it's quite possible that these things, might not go down as much as people anticipate. For my disclosure, I'm short some bonds. I'm short the 10-year. I'm also short some 30 years, 5 years, and some Schatz, which are the European bonds. But we'll see what happens. First thing what I do when I look at the stock market, before I even start looking at my actual shares, is I look where I'm at today. Where are we now? And basically we're above a 200-day moving average, so the world's beautiful. What I put on times is I put on an exponential 10 and an exponential 30, just to get a little bit more of a basis. I'm not overly comfortable where we are right now in the market. But again, we'll see what happens. So far we're above everything, so let's say coast is clear. We're even above a 10-period moving average. But if we put on, what I always like to do is put on a 10 and a 30, and then you look for crossovers. Like here was a little of a juncture. We took off. Here was another juncture. So we're going to see if we have a crossover. But right now, so far, so good. But it does look like the MACD is starting to turn down, so that's not the most positive. But again, take it day by day. This is a stock I'm in. This one, FMX, had a nice up day, a couple of nice up days, and I'm just trailing it. This is what I do. I look to buy the strongest stocks if I can put on a lowest bet. And actually, this one was in the strongest stocks about a month ago and just never took it out because it never fell out. But what the idea is that you look to buy the strongest stocks, which are these, if you can try to put on a lowest bet. So this is one stock I've been in, and I've been probably in it for about a month or so. So it's a nice little move up for me. And I'm not out. I'm trailing it with a trailing stop. You can see it right here. And if it touches it, I'm out. Nothing to think about. This one called Trimble. This was one of the stronger stocks. It took off, bought a breakout here. It really hasn't done anything. But again, nothing happening, nothing doing. Just trailing the stop. ARM had a great move for a long time. I bought it around down here, bought the breakout on a retracement here, just try to see what's happening. I don't like the momentum is showing downwards, especially when you have a higher high here. So it's going to show some weakness, but it's a very small little risk to see if the trade works or doesn't work. Because even divergences, they're not exact. They don't always hold up. I'm in this share, Hertz Global, bought it. And trailing it, had a couple of pullbacks, not really doing anything, just watching, being patient. Same thing also with Eastern Chemical, EMN, just being patient, seeing what happens. This is one of the keys to being disciplined enough not to have to do anything. You don't want to overtrade. You don't want to, overthink. Just basically follow your plan. Right now I'm in Seagate. I was going to get out at the lows here. It didn't happen. It looked like it took off. My stop is right here, and we'll see if I get taken out or if maybe it'll rebound. Who knows with this gap downwards. I mean, you almost like to buy the gaps in an uptrend. It took out the highs. It failed. Could be testing. If it can take out here, this gap down, and start closing above it, that could be a very nice positive for Seagate. Western Digital, same thing. Had a little bit of a up move. But massive divergence here. That's not good. It's not like what you want to see. You want to see this thing just moving up without a divergence. Small risk. I'm risking down to the trailing stop. Again, let's see what happens. Nothing happening on this one. SLCA. CELG, not doing anything for me. Took out it. I'd like to see it break out these highs. That is a trade on itself to actually buy out these highs, this resistance here. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I already have a position. I just want to see if it gets moving in the right direction. This is not overly positive. SodaStream is not kicking for me. You had 3 down bars. Again, I'm knocking at the door here, and we'll see what happens if I'm exiting. I bought some of this yesterday. It took out the resistance and then closed below it, which isn't really one of the most things you'd like to see, isn't the most positive. But I added to the position. MACD is turning down, but this is a very positive bar here, but we'll see what happens. This is the risk down to here, trailing stop. Q-hoo, boo-hoo. Not doing anything for me. I mean, I'd like to see it, take out here, this resistance, and stay above this floor. And if not, I know the trade doesn't work if I'm going below here. Nothing to think about. This one I'm out of. I got taken out of. Air methods. It took out the high here, sold off a little bit. I haven't taken a position here because I have a pretty full, almost a full boat of other positions, and I just think that we've had such a massive move already in the stock market that we're going to have some kind of a retracement. So, if anything, I'd be a buyer taking out these highs here is where I want to be a buyer, and it hasn't happened. Stratus, I'm out. You can see it. Again, if it starts turning up, we'll be a buyer, but in the meantime, maybe it'll do some consolidating. This is an interesting trade. This one, it closed below my trailing stop, so I had to exit. Now it's testing the highs again here, but it's diverging. A lot of times you have these failed breakouts. When you have these failed breakouts, it's, it was also this down move also was on huge volume. You can see it right here. You can see this volume was on huge volume considering the volume here, which is very small. So I'm not a buyer at this point. I'm skeptical of this breakout, and many breakouts do fail. So you've had 4 bars in an up thing. I would, in an up little trend, I would anticipate this would turn down, but we'll see. ResMed, holding in there. Let's see if the support can hold. And then I'd like to see it break out here. I missed it before here. It was moving up, it moved up very quickly and then gapped. I'd like to be a buyer above here, but we'll see. I mean, this isn't the most optimal here. FleetCor, well, I'm waiting for a little bit more of a pullback. I'd like to buy it on a little bit more of a pullback. This wasn't enough of a pullback. This is one of the strongest stocks. Dunkin's had a pullback, but the problem with Dunkin', here's a high here, here's a high here, it failed. I'd like it to take out this high and then I'd be a buyer. But you have a divergence here also. This is higher and this is lower, so that's not the most favorable. 3D Systems, we'll see what happens. I'm out of this because it went below the my trailing stop, and it's showing a lot of weakness. And it also went down on huge volume, huge, and it wasn't up on big volume. So anyway, that's a quick wrap up of where we're at. Again, this is Andrew from Trend Following Mentor. If you want to learn the ways I trade, I invite you to actually, I have a book called The Bible of Trend Following, which you can pick up on Amazon. It teaches you the way I trade. I'm a trend follower, been a trend follower since 1994. And again, I thank you for your time, and if I can help you in any way, just let me know. Thank you.